y'all, it's Dalanie.
And it's Katie, and this is Classically Black Podcast,
where we talk all things classical music and being black in the profession.
with Strauss playing in the background. Hey, y'all. It's the last episode of the year.
Right. Hey, y'all. Being on my New Year's resolutions that they stop. If that was your New Year's resolution, I hate to tell you.
Hate to break it to you. Maybe in 2020, 21.
Right, we've got several things lined up, so won't be stopping anytime soon.
Buckle up.
I can't wait for 2019.
Because listen, I mean, we'll get there. We're not there yet, but we're gonna get there.
Right.
But I am so exhausted. It's 2018. I'm so happy that I was praying for a fresh start.
I need it.
If
I don't get it, I don't know what I'll do.
I don't. No, and I'm not trying to complain, but Father God, 2018 started off good, and I don't know what happened. How the train all of
jumped the tracks.
How all of the chakras got misaligned. How Mercury was constantly in retrograde.
Literally about to say that.
Okay, Mercury going backwards since June.
You're right, y'all.
But we will get there. We'll get there.
Right.
You got news for us this week, sis?
Mm-hmm. So, right.
It's a doozy.
Right. Because I'm sure if you don't even have to follow classical music news. If you probably, someone on your friends list has probably shared this article. So the Washington Post did an article about Elizabeth Rowe, who's the principal flutist of the Boston Symphony Orchestra. And, you know, she's been working there for 14 years. Because at first I saw this article, I was like, well, you know, I mean, it's a long article. And, of course, you're thinking about it, you know, all throughout your reading it. So I'm like, well, how long has she been working with there? And I was like, oh, yeah, she's been there for 14 years. She should be... What? She should be getting paid.
Right.
The amount that she needs to get paid. She won the audition when she was 29. That was 14 years ago. And so basically, the article is about how she's not getting paid what she deserves to get paid. And she knows this because the salary of the principal oboist was released when BSO released their tax returns. Newsflash, y'all don't think things through, because they signed an NDA for so that they couldn't release his salary because they didn't buy him. They bought him out from the Met Orchestra by paying him like twice as much as everybody else, and they signed an NDA so that nobody would know. Well, you guys are a nonprofit. You have to release your taxes. So now they've written him on the taxes, and now everybody like, oh, so we got numbers now. Like,
right.
So she back in July, she filed a gender discrimination lawsuit against them, seeking $200,000.
That's
back
right.
Pay.
Amen. Right. You better get your money.
Right. And so she is requesting fair pay from them, and this lawsuit came after years of asking for raises. Like she's gotten some raises here and there, but like she's still getting paid $70,000 less than him. $70,000, and like and it's not even like, oh, she all of a sudden, oh, pipe up, I want my $200,000.
Right.
Like, she's been asking for this for so long, and y'all like she's saying like, oh, y'all gave me no choice. Like it's been years. Like, and she actually came in the very beginning wanting this, and they were like, slow your roll, sis.
Right.
But it's been almost 15 years.
And also, I don't understand, first of all, the fact that she beat out 250 people for that job. She was only 29 when she got the job. And then besides that, we're not talking about like a section violist. Yeah. We're talking about the principal flute player. Like, literally, you are singing on top of the orchestra.
Okay.
You have to be on top of your game all the time. And you have this sis asking for years to get equal pay? What?
And there are several things on this article that make me audibly gasp. But
you read this article, I was like, oh,
literally. Where are we going next? This is a roller coaster. So the BSO management they came out defending its pay structure, talking about the flute and the oboe are not comparable, in part because the oboe is more difficult to play.
When I tell you, when I read that part, I was like, my eyes must be deceiving me. Let me go back.
what? I was like, I got my optometrist on speed dial.
I'm like, them call up the Washington Post. Is something wrong with y'all printer?
Or some y'all got hacked. Like somebody putting in nonsense in y'all article. I don't know what.
Because at this level, you're really saying level
your instrument isn't hard enough. What? How y'all gonna tell the principal flutist of the Boston Symphony Orchestra, a member of the Big Five, that her instrument is not as hard as the person sitting next to her?
I wonder, I would have paid to see her face when they looked her in and said, girl, you know, we would love to give you a little bit more. However, that flute thing really ain't even that.
It's not that hard.
You just gotta blow. You know what I'm saying? But you know, my man, he got reeds. He gotta play the A.
That's exactly what I was like. I was like, so the only thing that he doing that she not is playing the A. So that's worth $70,000 to y'all?
Well, hell, let me play the A. I'll do it for $5 because since you know, like what?
I'll take a crisp 20 for A. What?
I'm gonna tell Jasmine. I'm gonna be like, sis, I wouldn't play Nan A ever again unless you get $100.
Y'all, because y'all can't pay $70K to play an A, because that's literally the only, like, they're both principal players, and I don't listen. Like, they're both up there.
Exactly.
They're both principal win players. Win players. Period. Even not even at this level need to be on top of their game all the time. Principal players, they're so exposed.
Right.
How you gonna look her in her face and tell her that her instrument not hard enough to get paid at the same amount that he does?
And what? That's such a weak, like. I would have looked them in. You see, I can't even form my words. I'd have looked them in the face and been like, "Wait, hold on, we gotta go back because clearly my ears are deceiving me. My instrument's not what."
Right. So all the money I paid to go through school, all the auditions I was taking, all the 250 people I beat out for this, my instrument now, what?
Yeah, my instrument is so easy that 250 people showed up and I'm the one who got
right.
it. Can't be hard.
What?
Wow.
That is insane. So this has been ridiculous and hard on her as well. And I was reading the article and it was talking about she's had to like request from her doctor sleep medication because, you know, she's a very private person. She was struggling with whether or not to go public with this. And
right.
That's one of the hardest things to do, to call out your management in front of everybody. But she was like, well, y'all didn't give me no choice.
Exactly.
Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, and their argument in court was literally the argument that they filed in court was the instruments are not comparable, and the oboe was second only to the concertmaster for his leadership role and responsible for tuning the orchestra. Responsible for tuning the orchestra is worth $70,000. I know y'all don't want to out-of-tune the orchestra, but I mean.
So y'all got me learning all these excerpts, and you got me behind screens and stressing, my heart beating fast, and we ain't got to play in tune. All right, bet. Let me go up to CSO tomorrow and just go sign up.
Right.
Like what?
Right. CSO now community orchestra.
Right. Since you needed one man to keep us on track. Wow.
I literally can't. I can't fathom. But a lot of other women orchestral players that are women have come in support of her. Principal flutist of the Colorado Symphony, and the Detroit Symphony Orchestra, wait,
that's not Adam? It's not the principal?
Right.
I'm sorry. That's not.
I mean, he ought to be, but you know, we got to give her some time to, you know, get her things together, pack up her office, and
you know,
right.
I imagine it must be difficult for her.
You have to give her time to come to terms with the fact that she's throwing in the towel and that, you know, it's just the end for her. It's over. Like,
I mean, it's over for all flute players. To be honest,
y'all might as well just take off your little head joint. You know,
I mean, since an article, might as well.
I mean, podcast over. Actually, got intermission. No,
this is not about Adam.
Of course, we find a way to make it
right.
But also, I neglected to mention this earlier when I was talking about the statement that they filed in court. They also were like, "Well, you get paid more than the principal harpist, and she's a lady." Okay, her and half the things on the season. Wait.
Let me just go to law school real quick. I didn't know we could just say whatever. You know what? I'm gonna be a lawyer.
This
You literally could say anything in a chord. Any old thing. Well, you get paid more than the janitor, and she's a lady.
Y'all
okay.
use all kind of roundabout logic. Your instrument not hard enough. She a lady. You get paid less. Wait, that doesn't even
the harp player.
Y'all the management of Boston Symphony Orchestra, and y'all are making arguments like this.
Wow.
Y'all don't read that back on, but y'all don't proof. They must not proofread, because if they know, they probably intentionally don't proofread this stuff, because they know if they hear it out loud, they gonna know it's
right.
dumb.
They gonna be like, oof.
It's dumb.
Yeah. They turn in arguments with all types of green and red lines underneath it.
Ridiculous. And they were talking, and also in the article, it goes through all types of statistics about, how the gender disparity, pans out in orchestras and in major orchestras like BSO. And they were saying how sometimes it's implicit bias, sometimes it's explicit bias. Mm-hmm. And one of the quotes that they put in the article was from the former principal oboist of the LA Phil. Her teacher literally told her, play with virility because they're going to want to hire a man. What? I mean,
I'm lost for words. Like, I don't. One thing the article mentioned about very briefly was the fact that orchestras are trying to balance out the bias. We know all this by doing screens and stuff, but one thing y'all fail to realize is that the final round is still, the screen goes up in the final round. So any type of bias that they want to use, like, oh, you're black, you're Latino, you're a woman, it's like that could still happen, because I've had a teacher that told me that I'm not gonna say who, that his colleague is a black horn player and has made it, not horn, I don't know, I'm not saying French horn, I don't know which, I don't remember, trumpet, whatever. Oh, okay. But one of them brass instruments, there we go, there's the word,
one of them
is a black brass player and has made it to the final round of the Met auditions twice, and both times didn't get the job. You made it twice to one of the best, no, if not the best orchestra, definitely the best orchestra in the country, but in the world, one of the best in the world, twice. Something not adding up. Something is not adding up.
It's not.
So all these, like, it's just like a little bit disheartening, because it's like I know for strings, at least I've heard, I don't know if it's changed, because maybe they've changed it, because I know the Met also is one of the only orchestras that do a screen all the way through. So maybe the person that told me this was before they implemented that, where the screen goes up all the way through, or it's only for certain instruments. I don't know how it works, but I think it'd be better just keep the screen, because it's about the sound that you need, or whatever, or the musicianship. I don't know. It's just weird. Like, y'all are weird. It's the year of our Lord 2018, and y'all still going through. Right. This does not make sense to me.
It literally has, like, so many stories of women who are in orchestras who are like, yeah, I asked for more pay and they laughed at me, or
laughed.
Right. It was like back in the 60s or something. So, they were just doing whatever.
Literally
whatever.
Like, I was just living,
pulling things out of a hat. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. Ain't no HR department yet.
Wow.
And all kinds of things. So, but one of the things that they also mentioned is that the principal oboist of the Boston Symphony Orchestra is good friends with her, Elizabeth Rowe, and he wrote a statement sort of in support of her getting a raise, but it says that he stopped short of endorsing her specific salary demand, like, oh, I want the same number as him, because he said that he doesn't think it's his place to tell them how they can, pay someone. But he was like, I absolutely do not agree with that. My instrument is harder than hers. He said every instrument has its own private hell, and when I tell you I felt that, I was like, it sure
because
does.
People love to say the viola is easier and whatever. I'm like, oh really? That's why, because like violinists, no shade, love to switch over to viola, and that's not a problem. A lot of times, like, if you're a fantastic violinist, you might be like a superb violist because like the facility and all that other stuff. But it's like people love to throw shade in the viola and be like, oh, the viola is easy or whatever, like blase blase. I'm like, is that why CSO took years to find another violist for their? I still don't think they hired anybody. Is that why the St. Louis auditions earlier this year, Cincinnati auditions earlier this year, 160 something violas showed up? Oh, that's why it's so easy. Like, like people don't understand. Like, yeah, notes might be easier in certain contexts, but then you like every instrument has its quirk. So
every single one, the
same runs that, especially when you get to like harder music, when you get out of playing Gauntlet, grade level 2, middle school orchestra, when you get out of playing stuff like that, you get to stuff like Strauss, where the violins go high. Y'all are used to that. Like you're not used to doing that. The viola is hard, and so it's the bass. Everything. And so it's percussion.
I'm so, I can't even get into people talking about, oh, the bass, y'all only have this. First of all, the fact that you would even compare yo teeny tiny whatever you doing to the bass, that's not like, yeah, it's not comparable. How could you literally put a violin next to a bass and say my stuff is easy? Because it's not the same instrument at all.
Exactly.
Breaking my neck, making 3-foot shifts. Meanwhile, y'all shift 2 inches in this attitude. I don't know how that happens, but
okay, but you don't have to come for my neck because
I didn't come for your neck. I came for their necks
because I felt that in my ebobo. Listen,
there's only so many places you can put your finger on there.
Listen, first of all,
I'm only saying I would never say that unless somebody insulted my instrument. I would never take it there.
I just feel personally attacked because we're not gonna talk about my ratio of intuitions. Okay, Walton, opener Walton, 3 different keys, depending on where my finger lands.
Every instrument is hard in its own right, and every instrument has things that has issues that it presents that another instrument does not deal with.
Exactly.
And you cannot say, unless you play that instrument, what is hard. And even if you do play that instrument, you can't, because different things are hard for different people.
Exactly. I told you earlier, I was in a rehearsal one time. I forgot which piece had a big bass drum part. Conductor spent like 10 minutes with the bass drum. I'm like, you just hit it. And then I was like, wait, something gotta be, because you gotta dampen that, and then you're using the right sticks, and like how high you come in, and is it late?
Right.
And how do you know if it's late because you're in the back of the orchestra? What's sounding in the front of the orchestra? So you gotta anticipate. Okay, you put in your ears in the future.
Right. Because that's so Raven back there. Like, what?
Like stuff as a violist, I don't have to think about.
Exactly.
I'm literally in my lane with my people. We just playing. But like bass drum, now your neck's sweating because you got to make sure you hit the bass drum at the right time, or the whole orchestra gonna turn around and be like,
exactly.
Like nah.
We all over here taking 8 semesters to get our degree. If my instrument was so easy, why am I here for the same amount of time as you are, taking the same amount of lessons, the same amount of orchestra, the same amount of everything? Like,
exactly.
That doesn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
How y'all?
But you can't make some type of nonsense.
You know what? I'm glad you said that, because we would have been here all night.
We would have been here all night. The type of like, how do y'all think that?
Like that meme with that lady with the triangles. And
she was like thinking throughout her. But sometimes you snap out of it, because I bring myself back, and I'm like, you can't make sense out of nonsense, and this is nonsense.
It's nonsense.
Well, I don't know. I wish her the best in this, because it now it's like, at least like there's a board handling this, so she's not looking these people in the face every day when she goes to rehearsal. But
right, and
I imagine that must be difficult. I applaud her for speaking, because you can't just let people get away with whatever,
Right. And so the article says, as of this week, which the article was published on December 11th. Mm-hmm. So as of that week, she was going into negotiations with them to try to settle it out of court. But if that doesn't work, then they're going to court.
Right, ma'am. You better go right to court. Smoke free if you want it. I know that's right, ma'am. I know that's right.
Okay, her statement saying, I got the Angus if you want beef.
Right. Blah, blah, what we pulling up?
I'll phone them gang.
Right. She's like, we could do it if you want to. But we just know that if you don't act right, we will be going to court.
So more power to you, sis. Get your money.
Right.
And if you got any left over,
just if you could just I guess begging online. My Cash App is
right. We're gonna link CBP
Venmo account. Just kidding for y'all sensitive folks out there.
All right, we moving on to intermission.
Okay, guys. So this week on intermission, we have orchestra do's and don'ts. So we're just going to share, not to be confused with our pet peeves, because our pet peeves were kind of just us complaining. But this week we have like, this is what we recommend, this is what we practice, you do and do not do in orchestra. So we're gonna start the do's. I have a couple because I just have something to say. The first
Oh my goodness.
the first and most important one is personal hygiene.
Wow. And the fact that this falls under an orchestra,
Like,
and not just like a life.
and you know what you do with your life and your person, like, that's your business. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you be great? You know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about when I have to sit 3 feet from you for the next 2 hours. Like, there's some things you must consider, like brushing your teeth. Okay, I understand. Well, I don't understand, but you know, maybe you woke up late, and I didn't even know how to say this.
I'm looking at you like, so where is this going?
Look, all I'm saying is why don't you have time to brush your teeth? Why? What? Is it really worth 2 extra minutes? It takes 2 minutes. It's recommended you brush your teeth for 2 minutes. You really have to get 2 more minutes of sleep before you came here? I can smell your breath from with your mouth closed. That's a problem.
Oh,
please be considerate to the fact that you have to share a space with someone. Please do consider personal hygiene, showering.
I've never had anybody who breath like that. I have had like someone who they armpits. I'm like, so deodorant means that there's no up bows for you.
I remember one day you were like, they must shower. Emphasis on must. Musty. I was like, you are trash.
Putting me out here.
But it's like, I'm trying to enjoy Beethoven 5 second movement, but my nose hairs are singeing. Because you wafted. Remember that episode when SpongeBob thought he was ugly? You remember that episode when he thought he was ugly, and he only because he ate that sundae he made?
No.
You don't remember? And yes, all that green smoke was falling. Okay, that green smoke wafting above the orchestra because you want to get 5 extra minutes of sleep. And I don't know if it sound mean. Well, I just understand in the year of our Lord 2018, like, there's running water. To me, there's no excuse. You have a do? Do.
Well, my first do could be a do or a don't, but
wow,
it could either be a do, get there on time, or a don't.
I don't know why you looking over here, sis.
You don't.
Literally have no idea. Your mouth okay? Agape.
What?
I arrived to orchestra with enough time for me to get my life in order so I could be ready to go. Ready to go.
I'm not gonna put you out here.
That's fine. You don't have to put me out here because there's nothing I'm hiding. If orchestra starts at 1:45, why must I be there at 12:45?
No one said 12:45.
That's the implication to me.
No one said 12:45. Are you kidding?
Listen.
Bottom line is, just know that you tell Katie sometime.
Now look, when I do get my professional job, you know, I might consider getting. Wow, I might get there on time because Shorty don't want to get fired. So I'm paying y'all to take orchestra. All right. Like, I'm gonna get there when I get there.
Okay.
And I don't cause no ruckus. You act like I be coming.
You don't cause no ruckus.
You act like I get there, I'll be like, excuse me. Oh, climbing over.
You probably do.
No, I do that.
You said that one of the bass players was looking at you like,
because since you don't own the left side of the stage, she was looking at me like,
because we said. Now people knocking up against our instruments, blah, 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 y'all.
Or if you just move, I won't knock up against it. Now I gotta shimmy past.
Yes, you do. You're the one who got there late. You should have got there.
Okay, so don't be mad. Now you got a dent in your instrument.
Are you kidding? A dent in your instrument because you got to orchestra.
Okay, but that's common courtesy. You could just, if I'm saying excuse me, you could swivel over.
They don't leave enough room for us regardless, whether y'all get there on time or not. So no, you can't just.
You literally just gotta turn your bass to the side so I can scoot past.
I've sat in that seat, in that very seat before. There's literally not. I cannot do a full bow. You're not finna. You're in the wrong. Like,
no,
I'm deep inside of it.
You don't. No, Nah, because I literally asked sis to, I was like, excuse me. And I wasn't, and that day I wasn't even like Katie late. I was like, kind of doing the thing. I was there at like 1:35. She all set up. I'm like, I literally said, excuse me. So if you don't move, now I have to get to my seat either way. So you just not gonna move? You in the grocery store with your car? Oh, I'm looking at tomatoes. So no. It's the same idea. I said, excuse me. Not the same. I said, excuse me.
Okay, calm down, first of all. Second of all, get to your seat before or find another way.
So I'm supposed to go from the rafters?
Yes. Go ahead.
Okay, pulling down from the rafters to get to my seat.
I'll get her top of her base on the floor, because...
like, anyway.
No. I'll put a poll up.
Yes, pull a poll up.
No.
Team Katie. On both sides.
Right. So y'all see how irrational she is. From that alone. You just told on yourself.
How did I tell myself?
Team Katie or Team Katie. Okay.
Yeah, I'm right. I literally said, excuse me. I ain't come during the A. Excuse me, man.
That's your usual, so that's right.
It's literally, I've never done that.
You literally said on episode 3.
Because go back and listen, because they started
They didn't start the 8 early.
They started the 8 early.
It
started at 1:43. Because I looked at my phone. I'm like, why didn't I? No, it started early. I'm like, why we started early?
Start the 8 early, girl.
The 8 started early. You got
enough to do.
Cause we not finna have me out here talking about
we've been arguing about this for too long. You got nothing to do.
A do I have is that if you are an inside player, you must turn the page on time. And I know
I can be disagreeing with you about this for the sake of it.
I know that this sounds like dumb. Like, y'all really talking about this? Yes, because you over here playing all the way, enjoying your best life all the way to the end of the page, and now we both looking dumb when we lost.
Right.
Like, what? How are you not anticipating? It's you must turn the page on time. It's your job. And that's why, low-key, I understand it's a treacherous job, and I understand it's an undesirable job. However, I did not make the seating chart. Because when I see I'm an outside player, I'm like, good, we chilling, boy. I'm my back all on the chair. I ain't got nothing to do. But now I get that inside job.
Nothing.
Now I gotta be looking ahead. God forbid it's like a scherzo or something. Now my eyes. No, turn the page on time. What? It's so annoying. That's more of a pet peeve. But you must turn the page on time. You must be a good, like, collaborative musician. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, turning the page, it can go collaborative. That can be a lot of things. Blending into the sound of the section. Making a beautiful sound, all those things. Like, you just be a good musician when it's time for orchestra, no matter what level you play at.
Right, because there be sometimes when we're approaching the last measure of the page, and I'm looking at the
and I will look at.
I'm not turning it. If I'm not on the inside, I'm not turning it.
I'm low key rude. I'm looking at you like, and I might do a little side so maybe. And then it's like I'll say something. I'm like, can you make sure you turn the page on time? What?
If you don't turn the page, then I guess we just.
Okay. I guess we both you're sitting there looking dumb. The piece still going.
We resting.
and then the same people that turn the page late be like, oh, let me turn the page. We got 20 measures of rest. Now I don't know where we are. It'll be like a block of rest, but there's like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like, okay, so you end, and then it'll be like 8 measures, and then there'll be like a letter, like K, and then it'll be like 16 measures, and it'll be like L. But you turn the page before, so we don't even know where we are. Why can't you just wait till us to get to
write it in?
You know what I'm saying?
People write it in on the next page if you turn it, like how many measures you have.
I'm like, so now we're looking dumb, dumb, because you are not being. It's just a lot to me. Like, I don't understand like why you can't just be a good colleague. You will get complaints. And I heard some of the stories I heard from people being in orchestras on their first year. Child. One person, I forgot who, one violinist told me, when their first like week in I forgot what orchestra, maybe I think it was a CSO. They were like, his stand partner he thought he was working. He was working. And during the break, his stand partner turned to him and was like, you're gonna have to work harder than that. I would literally melt. Can you imagine everything you went through, all the school you went through, all the auditions you took, the rounds you went through, all the stress, and you already nervous, you working your tail out for your stand partner to turn to you and say you have to work harder than that? First of all, you ain't gonna talk to me like that.
Right.
Because, never mind, I ain't gonna say that. But just know that I'm not the 1, the 2, or the 3. So I don't care what context we are in. You're not gonna talk to me anyway.
All I have to do is stay black and die. So you
like, I
Don't tell me what I have to do.
I'm low-key rude, so that wouldn't have ended well for nobody. We would have both been up in HR.
Right. I mean, ooh, my God forbid I ain't have tenure yet.
Okay, all that work and me out on the street again looking for auditions. I don't care. I don't care.
I'm in the hood of the car.
Right.
The police car back.
Because his bow up is... You're not talking to me any type of way. You're not gonna talk to me anyhow.
How did we get here?
You have another do?
I have I have two more, but I have one that is like simultaneously a do and a don't.
Okay, hybrid.
Do mind your business. Don't act like you ain't never played a wrong note in your life.
Sis. Well, let's talk about it. We can talk about this together.
Because if somebody, when I say mind your business, if somebody plays something, they mess up in your section, why your neck turning all the way around like you? First of all, is your mama an owl? Because where you get that? Where you get that vertebrae from?
Right, looking like how many listens it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop.
Like, 'cause I ain't never seen a human neck turn that far around. Why are you staring people down because they make one little mistake?
Right.
You act like you never played a wrong note in your life. You play everything in tune. And I'm not saying like, oh, you could just come in with orchestra and do whatever, because there's an extent. Mm-hmm. But if I see somebody, I know that they know they mess up, they skip a measure, whatever here and there. Like, I know that they know what they did wrong. Mm-hmm. And that is different than coming to rehearsal prepared. And you can tell the difference. It's easy to tell the difference between someone who's unprepared and someone who just made a mistake. Yeah. Why are you down somebody's neck because they made a mistake, acting like you perfect? You was perfect, you wouldn't be here. This is music school. Exactly. You would have your own studio if you were perfect. Like, that gets on my nerves because people can be so mean and it's like so judgmental. Like, first of all, it's none of your business because now you lost because your neck all over here in my business. Because what? Because I accidentally played one little note wrong in this whole 45-minute piece. What?
And going off of that, one of my don'ts, so we can move on to don'ts. Do you have another do?
I do, but
the principal player, do not turn around and look at me when I make a mistake. And like, I don't know what the implications are that. Okay. I don't know what the implications are for a professional orchestra because I ain't nobody's BSO. However, I will say that I just don't think when the principal player, it's one thing to turn around and be like, and address your section. But I played a concert with probably one of the most terrible principal VOs I've ever played with. They were young. They would look back if people made mistakes, but you don't leave the section. You're not breathing entrances. You get lost. How you get lost, I'll be watching God work because I'll make a mistake and then in the very next measure he makes a mistake. And I'm like, why don't you just focus on what you have to do?
What you gonna do now? Get a mirror and look at yourself? Since you looking at people making mistakes.
I just don't like principal violas that act like, like they all hide. First of all this is by chance. And like, so it's music school. That's the first thing. Secondly, you act like you all high and mighty and looking back. I can't hear what's coming out of your F holes. Meanwhile, my F holes are going straight to your ears. Right. I can't hear what's coming out of yours. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just hate, like, do not abuse your power. Do not, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not a very prideful person, but I'm not that one either. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I will hurt your feelings. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not how, to me, that's not very collegial. I'm not, to be very clear, I'm not talking about you're the principal violas. Guys, can you do a better job of making that piano? Yeah. Can you do a better job of this? Can you make sure you're doing that? Can you, let's go up on the D string for that because the A, make sure that's not too loud, whatever. Of course, bowings, that's not even the same thing. I'm not talking about you doing your job. I'm talking about you acting like you my mama. And that's the difference.
Now you all turn around because what?
No,
people act like they never made a mistake in your life, girl. When I heard some girl, I could not believe my ears. She was like, we were a place where there were a lot of practice rooms, and she could hear somebody practicing through the door, and was like, "Well, that person's intonation is really bad." I looked at her, I was like, "You got perfect intonation, right? You play everything in tune." Because I know I don't. Right. You wouldn't be here if you did. Your teacher don't play everything in tune.
Exactly.
And no one does. Like,
wow.
What?
That attitude, like, it's just so toxic. And y'all, classical music's already hard. I just don't understand people that make this harder than it already is.
Right.
Like, you do all this work, and whether you give a recital or you have you give an audition, you have like 3 minutes to show someone that you know what you're doing on your instrument.
Right.
You know how much pressure that is?
Exactly.
You practice excerpts for hours and hours, your concerto exposition for hours and hours. You have 2 minutes not to be trash, to remember everything you did.
You put me in my feelings.
Like,
I'm like, oh, damn.
And that's if they want to keep listening to you.
Right.
One time I played an audition, Don Juan fell apart. They're like, thank you very much. I'm telling you, I didn't finish the excerpt. I got to the bottom of the first page, and they were in the edition I have, which means that there's still like some more to go. Mm-hmm. And they're like, thank you. Because it felt, I did something. And they're like, sometimes they don't want to hear anymore. And it's like, and you know how, it's not like you just play Don Juan for a minute. Okay, ready to go. Don Juan. Mm-hmm. Like, that's hours and hours, and you have a finger slip or you miss a shift, and like they don't want to hear anymore. So this is already hard, and now I got somebody Raggedy Son turning around looking at me. Nah, don't make this harder than it is.
For real. Okay.
Let me do one more. Don't.
Okay. Oh well, I have another do.
Oh, okay. Positive.
It's not really probably. It's another one. It's another one of those hybrids that's like secretly trifling. And it's multifaceted. It's about tuning. It says tune correctly.
That's what we're saying. Tune correctly.
And I'm not talking about I'm not talking about pitch. I'm in no position to talk to anyone about pitch. Mm-hmm. But there is a right and wrong way to tune. Why are you playing fortissimo? I can't hear my thing when you should not, you cannot put your whole arm weight when you're tuning.
Also, the pitch changes when you how do people not know
you
that?
You are muscling your instrument.
How do people not know that you cannot put all of your arm weight into the string when you tune?
Now I'm breaking my back because I gotta bend like a less than sign.
You are annoying. I
gotta bend like a less than sign.
Annoying. So
I can put my ear inside of my earphone because I can't hear nothing that's coming out of my instrument because you are acting like you playing Ein Heldenleben when you're just playing your open string.
You are frustrating.
People around you cannot hear themselves if you tune that loud.
Yeah,
they cannot. Another thing. Why are you tuning with the woodwinds when you got 4 strings right in front of you? The first A is for the woodwinds.
I hate people who don't follow that etiquette.
What? You in the bass section playing whatever while the flute is trying to tune. What? And you sound dumb because everyone is looking at you like, sis.
Now, some people I have seen, if you're desperate, like if something goes wrong, you might sneak an A, or you could just wait.
Right. But I just go with, and people also who tune in if you tune in the middle of rehearsal while someone is talking, you either tune in very, very quietly or you're going outside. Yeah. I personally just always go outside. Mm-hmm. But there'll be some people I'm like, I literally cannot hear what the conductor is saying right now because you're tuning. And what? You're literally disrupting rehearsal. And I get it. You don't want your instrument to be out of tune. Go outside.
Ooh, child, I don't know. My last one is also a do. And it's do be aware of the space you're taking up. Like, this might not apply. This actually does apply to you because you need more space than everybody else. You and the tubas need more space, but it's just like you stand with people who like they're just not aware of the fact that like how you're even sitting in your chair. I'm like, how do you not realize that your FO, that your scroll is blocking the bottom right side of the music? How do you not? I just don't understand people who are not spatially aware.
I've literally had that where I intentionally get to rehearse. You know how I am. I like to get there early, but I also do that because they almost never set up enough room for basses because they're like, oh, we have 7 people. You have 7 people and 7 basses. Yeah. It's not the same thing. Yeah. And so I get there early so I can have my spot and I can have room to play. There's someone who is not spatially aware will come and sit the bass down where it's literally about a millimeter away from hitting my instrument. Will just plop down. And I'm looking at this person like, right, you you can't feel my body heat coming, like, because I can sure feel yours.
Wow.
So I just,
yeah.
You don't care about your instrument. You're just plopping it around anywhere, not looking because you almost hit me.
Mm-hmm.
And then we would have had a real problem.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, wait, I can't believe I forgot that one. Because I haven't dealt with it that much because most people are, but some people was just kind of like, are you okay?
Like, are you okay? Are you a child? Like, the way you sit in your chair, you're blocking music, you're taking up too much space. Now I can't even use my full bow arm. I'm like, why are you like this? Like, why people like you? I came to orchestra one day, and all the chairs in the second row, the viola section, were like just like all next to each other, and they were sitting in them, and I'm like, so you had all this time. You know, I got there at 1:40. So you had
140.
It was 140. It was 140. Thank you so much. It was 140. I'm not doing this.
140 what?
I wasn't. I am 140. I got there.
Did rehearsal started at 141 that day or what?
You are hot trash. Like, you are hot trash. I got there and I'm like, so y'all, you had all this time. You like, maybe let's move the chairs back, or let's like,
right.
That didn't really cross your mind at all.
I'm literally always the one that's like, guys, can we make more room?
I'm
like,
always the one.
You literally like Barney. You know how Barney got
he got the little arms.
Yeah, but it's stuck at the elbow. You literally playing like that, and you like, and you not feeling that. That's how people get injured.
Exactly.
Like,
wow.
What? You don't feel that, and no one's asking. No one's like, maybe we should. I just don't. And don't be. I'm not afraid to ask the trumpets to move. Because if I gotta ask my section to move, that's one thing. If I gotta ask y'all to move, then
and everybody moving. To be honest, I don't care, because I'm not gonna sit here for 2 hours.
Right there, okay. And there's space to the right of them, so they can move to the right, so that we can move to the right.
I don't understand why people. I don't know. It just makes me very frustrated. Like, I'm asking everybody to move, because I'm not gonna sit here for 2 hours with my right. I can only play the frog because you don't want to. What? Be spatially aware.
Now I'm feeling like Tetris because I gotta get in where I fit in.
All right, this is the end of the. That's it. With that, this is the end of the intermission. Let us know if you got anything. Do you have orchestra do's and don'ts?
Really ended it. I could go on for date. No, just kidding.
Let us know if you have your own personal orchestra do's and don'ts. We would love to hear them. Email them to classicallyblackpodcast@gmail.com, and we are moving on.
I'm glad you really ended it.
Of course.
What'd I say? Was something I said?
What did I do?
Right. Oh my goodness.
Okay, so on this day, the final day of 2018, today we're talking about reflections. You said what?
I said praise to the Most High.
Glory be to God in the highest. Or whatever you believe in, listeners. But somebody got to get praise. because baby.
All right. Baby.
I don't know. I'm not gonna put my business out. But long story short, I caught hell second half of the year. People in my life caught hell. And I'm happy this year is over. But we're gonna reflect. We're gonna be positive. For me, I like being positive. That's why it's hard for me to be negative.
I did a lot of yelling in the intermission. It was a little.
I'm people even who know me know I'm a positive person. So I like to just reflect and see what happens. So I got a couple questions for Dalanie. Just talking about this year, and feel free to talk along with us and write down these questions, ask people in your life, reflect on yourself. I'm a journaler. I like to journal. So every year I answer these questions. Feel free if you don't want to answer the question, you don't have to. Okay. So question number 1, what's the biggest life lesson you learned in 2018?
Wait. And just for context, my memory is trash, so it's really hard for me. She gave me these questions. I was like, this the whole year. I literally cannot like.
She literally went through her pictures in her phone to be like, "What did I do this year?" I'm like, "Sis, I didn't ask 97. I asked."
Be like, "How was your day?" I'd be like, "How should I know? I wasn't there." My biggest life lesson. Okay, so. I had the questions ahead of time, and so for me, 1 and 2 are kind of like the same.
That's fine. The second question is what's the biggest lesson you learned about yourself? So
yeah, so I cannot just keep floating by. Like, because, like, you know, a lot of people grow up in situations where, like, they're in school and they do well in school and they don't really have to, like, try and whatever. So, like, I'm, like, studying. I don't know what that is. Like, but now I literally must. I must study. I cannot waver on my practice schedule. Oh, today I could just do it. Like, unless it's like a special case, like, oh, I had a recital today or something. Like, obviously I'm not going after my recital. Okay, me busting some mandel open. See what I'm gonna do. But I literally, like, I just have to stay on track. Like, and I know about myself that I need scheduling and stuff. People think, oh, you're so organized. I'm organized out of necessity, because if I do not plan my days out by the minute, I will sit around and do nothing all day.
That's crazy to me. I'll be looking at Delanie's calendar. I'm like, what is all that?
I literally, like, oh, I take the bus at 11:25 and get off at 11:37. Like,
First of all, I don't have the attention span to do all that. Like, I literally wake up in the morning. I'm like, what are we doing today, girl? And I'm like, I know I gotta practice today, so I'm gonna block off them 5 hours, and I'll be like, okay, I know I gotta go to the gym. I know I gotta studying. Who is she? I don't know her. You're fresh. I just want y'all to know that sometimes it's just incredibly hard to do this, because Dalanie does not know how to act at all.
I'm not doing anything.
You're not doing anything? You're gonna lie before God? Yeah. Okay. But yeah, you were saying?
Yeah, I need to get my life together. Basically what I learned in 2018, that I cannot keep letting life pass me by like this. I have to stay on top of myself even when I don't feel like it. That's probably one of my biggest problems, is self-discipline. Because I told you how I think about self-discipline. Why am I disciplining myself if I don't do something?
You are annoying.
This is exactly how I think about it. I'm like, so who gonna get mad if I don't do this? Me. What I'm gonna do? Nothing. Okay then. Like, then I'm doing what I want.
No, man, I can't.
I'm like, what I'm gonna do to me? Nothing.
I think about self-discipline in a way. I'm a pretty disciplined person. That's only because, like, it just has to be done. Like, people be like, oh, you practice so much. I'm like, you know how much I'm paying Eastman? Of course.
I pay too much money to come to a lesson unprepared. Meanwhile,
exactly. Like, I'm not going to lessons unprepared. Tomorrow's lesson, please respect my privacy at this time. Well, not tomorrow, January 1st, but tomorrow night is recorded. Mr. Taylor gave me a lesson tomorrow. Like, it's been finals week, and it's like, I understand I'm a musician, but somebody got to pass these classes, and I've been sitting around all semester. Right. So I that music history final, I was burning that midnight oil. Like, you not finna have me out here. So, you know, I had to take a second from viola. My kids had concerts all week, so we're gonna be in there staring at each other tomorrow. We just gonna be. I'm gonna be looking at him like,
what you got?
I'm gonna be like, I don't know what you got.
Right.
We playing duets. What we doing? Nah, I'm gonna put something together for him. I got some stuff that I could razzle dazzle.
Of course.
But I think about discipline way differently. It's like something I could do. Like, when I was going through like my health journey, I was like, we're going to the gym today. It's not even like, it didn't even like occur to me like I don't feel like going. It never went through my mind when I was losing weight like, oh, I don't feel like going today.
I'm chronically lazy. I told you. Katie is like, I don't get that, because I would literally rather be hungry than get up and get food
downstairs. Like,
or in my fridge.
Like,
no, that I would do.
The biggest life lesson I learned in 2018 is that, sis, you must save. Like, you gotta save. Like, I know it sounds dumb, like I'm at a particular age, but it's like, I be, mommy, I'm poor, help me. It's like
I save and I still do that.
I just have to do a better job of saving. I'm not gonna get too much into that because that's my business.
We're gonna link Katie's account and routing number in the.
I'm gonna do that. Link my Cash App. My Cash App is playing. The biggest lesson I learned about myself this year is that I've always been a person like I will take on a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Superhero.
But I will get everything done. We were like, let's start a podcast and let's apply to more school and let's, you know, teach. I teach too much, but I love my kids. But let's teach and let's do all these things. And it's like, I'll do it and I'll get it done and my eyes will be bleeding and, you know, but it's like I will do all these things, but then something gives, and it's not the quality of what I'm doing. It's like my awareness, or the fact that like, I'll go through a whole day and like just not be aware of like where I'm at, like what day it is. You know what I'm saying? Like I just don't feel like myself, and that's like I don't like operating like that. I'm like feeling like a zombie. I don't like waking up and being like, I cannot wait to go back to bed. You know, and so maybe I know I can do a lot, I can take on a lot, but I'm not a superhero. I'm not invincible, and like I don't want to learn what the repercussions of that is going to be. Right. If I keep acting like that, keep taking on way too much, keep, you know, whatever. Like there was nights where I was like practicing at 2 a.m. with a practice mute on, like, oh, I hope they don't call the police, because it's like, well, we got to learn this thing, and it's like, or you could have just said no to things. Okay, let's move on. What's something you accomplished this year that you're super proud of?
Well, you know, when I read this question, I was like, whew.
Anyway, not one thing.
No,
I'm about to say.
You piping up first. I said win, but you know, I have to think about what I did earlier today. So, but one thing that I accomplished this year was getting our organization, Black Students at Eastman, SA recognized.
Hey,
and we out here doing events, like we're an active organization,
right?
Like, I mean, I'm proud of that. Like,
yeah, you should be.
Like, well, you know, that there were ups and downs, and you know, things that weren't my fault, but we still here, we still standing. You have to, you know, accept those things. But yeah, I'm just really happy to see that come to fruition. We're not going to let that fall to the wayside, you know, like in 2019, like we're going to keep out here with BSE turning up, you know, like that's something that our school needed. That's something that I needed, you know, and, you know, I made it happen. So, and also this podcast.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, I have two. This podcast, like the fact that like, it was just merely an idea in March, and we like we were just like, all right, so what we doing, and it narrowed down, and it's changed a lot, but like we really out here putting episodes out like on Apple Podcasts now. Like it's just like, I don't know where it's gonna go, but I'm just excited for y'all who are listening. It's just been a huge undertaking, and we're committed to it. It's like, you know, I don't know, it's been really amazing to see. Another thing I'm really proud of is the fact that I presented at an international conference.
You know, whenever I bring it up,
because you be like,
you just be a little thing, just a little ditty.
Because I mean, like, it's still an accomplishment, but you be acting like it's like, I want
a national conference. It's a big deal.
Like the fact that, I mean, I've traveled internationally by myself before. I've gone further than the Netherlands. Like last year, I went to the IVC, the same conference I went to, but it was in New Zealand, and that, you're so annoying. And that was a little terrifying, because I was literally not nervous going to New Zealand, because I was just going through the motions, because it was like 30 hours of travel. So I was like a zombie anyway. It wasn't 30 hours on a plane, but like it was, I had to drive to Toronto, and then I had to sitting around 9-hour layovers, 7-hour layovers. It was like 30 hours. I was a zombie. And then when them clouds cleared over Wellington, my heart dropped to my booty. I was like, all right, so we're underneath the planet alone. Like whatever. But I went to the Netherlands this year, and I navigated. Everything's in Dutch, and I figured it out. And my presentation was well attended, which I wasn't expecting, because I'm young. It was early in the morning on the last day of the conference, so I was really worried about people attending, and people were writing down notes, and like that was just a huge accomplishment for me. I'm like, maybe I could, you know, maybe it's just exciting to think that people care about what I have to say, which is like, not a pedagogue, but it's a good feeling to think like, oh yeah, people really care about like what I have to say. So that was just like a huge accomplishment for me. Okay. What didn't you accomplish this year that you're going to make sure you accomplish next year?
I feel like I'm gonna save my answer for this question, because it's the same answer as a later question.
Okay. What didn't I accomplish this year that I'm gonna make sure I accomplish next year? Okay, one of them is kind of trifling. Oh my goodness. Actually, no, I'm not gonna put my business out like that. But the thing I want to do for my birthday. Remember what I wanted to do? No. Okay, I'll tell you. That's a conversation for another time. But this year I said, I made a status. I was like, I don't know. I just want to do a better job of how I talk to myself. And that's something that I've said I was going to work on in 2018 that I utterly failed at. Because I remember reflecting one day in 2017, and I was like, girl, if you keep talking to yourself like this, you're never going to make it. And I went into 2018. I'm like, all right, we're gonna be positive. We're gonna be positive queen, and we gonna you a queen girl, and you play that thing, and Primrose, look out. And it's like it's like you take an L, you take another L, and it's like it's not easy to talk to yourself. Well, for me, I'm not gonna say it for everybody, but when you start going through some stuff and like auditions don't turn out the way you want to, and lessons don't go the way you want to, performances, master classes don't go the way you want to, it's just like, damn, like I don't know. But that's something that I'm going to make sure I actively work on in 2019.
Yeah, I just realized there are a lot of things, because I remember earlier in the year I actually wrote down in this journal that I had in my backpack. That's why I reached in there. There are several things on here that I did not accomplish this year, but there are a lot.
I mean, that's okay.
Categories, and I knew this list is long, so I knew I wasn't gonna get through all of it. I got through some of it.
So, and I feel like that's okay. Like I feel like I'm not really a resolutions type person. Excuse me, but I'll think about the year. Like I remember like in 2017, like when I was like, I don't really plan things out, but I woke up in 2017. I was like, all right, girl, so what you gonna do about this weight? Because you breathing hard, you know? So it's like, I'll kind of like get ideas as I go, but I think moving forward in 2019, I just want to have more clear goals of like what I'm trying to accomplish and like making sure that accomplish. And also I'm going to do an inventory and be like, what are some deeper things that I'm not going to tell y'all that I wanted to accomplish that I didn't, and like how am I going to go about doing that. Okay, what did you do in 2018 that made it a stronger year than 2017? So we're not gonna just put down 2018 like that. Did you do anything, and you can say no, but did you do anything in this year that made it a stronger year than last year?
I traveled more this year. So
ooh,
I mean, I had my first like real out of the country experience when I went to Mexico, and then I went to Paris like a couple weeks later. So I mean, granted, I don't really recall much of 2017 either. I'm like 2017, I don't know her. 2017 was not a good year though, honestly. So
2017 wasn't?
No, I mean, just thinking back of what, just pieces of it overall, I think 2018 might have been better in some respects. So, but I think that's something that I would like to do more. I don't really like being up out of my house that much. So traveling is sort of something that I'm gonna have to just be like, just do it, because once you're there, then you're like, okay, I'm here, But I think it's cool that I traveled more in 2018. I'm trying to get like you. So
literally, no, I'm not doing this.
Right, 'cause you can't win.
Something that I did. Well, I don't even know if I did it, but it happened. That made 2018 significantly stronger than 2017 is some of the relationships that I've had. So, I've always had like, I've had good friends, but I feel like I'm just in such an amazing place right now. Like I met Dalanie in 2018, and we can say that was good or bad, but I'm just
that was literally my next answer, but
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I met Dalanie in 2018, and like literally people will be seeing us on social media be like, so are y'all ever gonna take a break? I remember we left school like the middle of May, and like the first week of June I was in LA, and they were like, I thought we gonna get a whole summer with y'all too. Like, with I crossed SG Rowe the end of 2017, so 2018 was really about like just getting to know all of my sorors outside of my line sisters. I met a bunch of people at Color and Music Festival, and just continuing to grow those friendships. So it's just been a stronger year because I feel like I have people that I can call at any moment and be like, yo, so I'm doing this thing, I need help. Or I texted one person, I was like, yo, help me with this thing. And then they answered, and I was like, all right, I could have been under a ditch, blah, blah, blah. It texted back at me like, you literally said, never mind. But it's like having people just there, it's just like, that definitely made this year significantly stronger. And I'm excited to see where those relationships progress as we move forward. Okay, overall, was 2018 a great year to you?
Well, I don't know. This one was hard because I can't really say like overall. I feel like I keep a lot of my things separate, so I kind of separated them in my head. Like when I saw this question, I feel like for a lot of things, 2018 was not a good year. It wasn't a terrible year for bass. Like a terrible year would be like, oh, I'm injured, I can't play no more.
That would be terrible.
So like but it wasn't a good year as I feel like I made enough progress or anything close to that. But it wasn't a good year for my grades. It wasn't a good year from just me personally, my mental state. It was a great year for friendship. I met you in 2018. I met Corinne. Yeah. I met Caitlin, Jason. I met Richard. I met everyone.
Oh shoot! Shout out to Richard.
I literally met all my friends that I have right now in 2018.
It's been a good year.
Because that's why I said that's why I thought like that's one of the things that made 2018 better than 2017. I didn't have any friends here. And I know that sounds I'm not exaggerating. I literally did not talk to anybody. Like I did everything by myself, and like I literally met all my friends in 2018. So it was a great year for friends, not a good year for much else. It was a good year I would say it's a good family year only because it was uneventful. That means I didn't lose anyone
exactly
in 2018. So I feel like because my family is not like a lot of people, like some people have like a lot of drama. My family doesn't really we mostly get along pretty well. So like there's not really like my auntie Titi and so and so not talking and we splitting up on Thanksgiving. Like
I mean we have a little bit of that, but it's not like. It's not about people not talking to each other. Like we're my family's pretty close in the fact that like all of our holidays are together or whatever. But like we have stuff like a lot of people do. But it's not like I ain't going over there and
so like that. That's why I was like, it's like thank God for this year with family. Nothing has changed. My cousin had a baby, so even that's
amazing.
That's a blessing.
In addition,
like, I didn't lose nobody in 2018, so that's literally the biggest thing I can ask for. So all the other stuff like sucks, but 2019 is coming. So what about you?
I struggle because the year started off really good. So I don't know. I struggle because I'm not really like a complainer to be like this year sucked, but I already said it's been treacherous, so, but I would say 2018 has been my hardest year so far in recollection in life. But also when I was a child, I don't know, I was just existing, you know what I'm saying? So I can't even be like, man, 205 was the best, man, you know what I'm saying? Like I can't.
205
That's what I say. You don't say that? No. I don't want to take the time to say 2005. I always be like 205 anyway, like 2000.
You were older than I thought. You said you was at a particular age. I didn't know you did all that.
Wow. I'm not gonna say like, 2005 was like the worst year ever. I can't. I was literally chilling, just going from one thing to the next. But I think overall, because of friends, because of like, I don't know, instances, like I played a duet with my teacher, like on TV. Like I went to Jamaica. We had a family reunion in March. You know what I'm saying? Like I met a bunch of friends this year. I went to Amsterdam. It's like, it was a good year. It wasn't my best. No, am I excited for it to be over? Absolutely. Like, I'm jealous of y'all because y'all are actually the day before 2019. Like
right now, we mid-December.
Right. Like, I'm jealous of y'all. Like, kudos to you guys. But I feel like the devil's been on my neck and he hasn't been letting up. But I'm excited to see what's gonna become. But I struggle to say it wasn't a great year. No matter how much I went through this year, like how much I caught hell, it's not easy for me to be like, yeah, this year was trash. Yeah. Like, let's burn it up.
I mean, good, maybe not great.
Yeah, you know? Maybe it's good. It was
good considering.
I think that's
it could be so much worse.
It could be so much worse.
I have to remind myself sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes even stuff when things went like after the thing that happened at Chick-fil-A, and it was like. I had to, after I was done being dramatic, because I'm Katie and I have to have a little bit of drama. Just fell out. I called my mom. I was like, I literally cannot do this. She's like, what are you talking about? Even after that, I was like, girl, this could be so much worse. And you shed some thug tears and you keep going, because that's all you can do. Yeah, blase, you know what I'm saying? I was like, okay, last question. Were you good to 2018?
I don't think so. But that goes back to my first answer. I was kind of just like floating along. I don't think I gave it my all. I will be good to the end of 2018 because I'm going home for break, and I have to get my life together. I just can't, you know, I'm in my feelings about the way that I sound, and just, wow. You know, I don't think I gave 2018 even a quarter of what I have, you know, so that's what I'm gonna do at the end of 2018, and then going into 2019 and from then on, because I literally have
to. I think whether or not I was good to 2018 goes in and out. I think there's never really a time that I'm not giving my all. To be completely honest, like, I can always do better, but there's never a time where I'm like, but there, especially like towards like the middle to the end of the fall semester, it's like when you literally have nothing else to give. Like, and I know it sounds dramatic, but come sit down with us and let's go to Bubble Fusion and let's get a bubble tea, and we can sit down, and if you really want to know our business, and we can tell you what happened. But I'm not gonna tell all my business to whoever
happens to click on this.
Exactly. But so if you want to really ask, like, Katie girl, like, are you okay? I'm like, well actually, I probably would still, depending on who you are. Yeah. But I mean, just when you get to the end, it's like you literally have nothing else to give. It's like you start floating. It's like, I remember even my final project, I'm so thankful that I have professors who believe in me, because I did a final project. She was like, it was good, but it wasn't what I'm used to. Like, let's work something out. I'm not gonna say what she did. Let's work something out so we can fix this, you know? And it wasn't like it was a trash project, you know, because why would I'm a grad student, I'm not gonna be like riding backwards. Katie Brown. Anyway, but I think I can't really answer this. I don't know if I was good to it.
You came up with the question.
I don't know, but I don't know if I could. Was I good to 2018? I don't know, like, because it was never consistent, you know. I don't know, but we're gonna be good to 2019. I can tell you that much.
Some of these questions, I was like, dang, overall the whole year, that's just that's such a huge amount of time.
Especially at this point, like maybe if we did like a mid-year reflection, and then, but yeah, you love a good reflection. I love a good reflection, because for reflection helps you move forward. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I annoy some of my friends because I ask my friends to answer these questions every year, you know, and it's like they be like, girl, we just want to watch Love and Hip Hop.
Right, meanwhile, we just got out the semester, you giving us more homework.
But it's like, I look, my friends don't have to think that what I think is important, because I would just be friends with myself. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I just think it's important to reflect, because you can move forward. Because if you really sit back and you be like, is there anything I didn't accomplish that I'm gonna make sure I accomplish? Okay, every year you say you wanna have a better skincare routine, and every year, literally, I was just picking something from the sky. Every year you want to say, and every year you're like, I don't really feel like it. Next year. But are you gonna make sure that you do that next year? Are you gonna make sure your finances are together? Are you gonna make sure you can play, you know, the opening of the fourth movement of Mozart? Like, you're gonna make sure you can do, even if it's like something small like that. Like, is there anything that, like, everyone has goals, I hope. If not, why don't you just be a plant, you know? But it's like,
I welcome it. I got a plan tune as a plan. Just show my photosynthesis.
My mom almost got on the phone with me because I was like, so you just decided to make me be here. And what if I wanted to be like a cow or like an amoeba?
Being a cow is not that great. I mean, we still have, responsibilities.
You are trash. I'm not doing this. Okay. Just before we wrap up the segment, let's talk about resolutions. I'm not a resolution person. I kind of just, like I told you, I just wake up in the new year and be like, girl, so what we doing? We doing something, we ain't doing nothing. Like this year, I woke up 2018, maybe it's probably why I was so off track. I was like, all right, girl, welcome to 2018. Same old. I think, I just jumped into the year. I didn't do, but this year, with what you're comfortable disclosing, do you have any personal goals for 2019?
Well, personal goals. I mean, I would like to have, be healthier.
Let's talk about it.
Out here. But, I like what I like.
Mm-hmm.
One of my main personal goals, though, that I just really hurts my heart, like, because that I can't do is, I would love to be a polyglot. I like language, and I would want to speak multiple languages. Probably not. Well, I don't want to say probably not realistic, but to at least learn one more language, because I know parts of other languages, but I would love to be fluent in another language. I would love to get on some type of a regular routine of learning languages that I already know some, stuff of. That's one of my personal goals, because sometimes when I see people like communicating other languages, I'm like, I feel terrible, not because like I don't think anyone who only speaks one language should feel terrible, but personally to me, I really want to speak, multiple languages. It's just something that's interesting to me. So that's one of my personal goals, is figuring out, what kind of learning methods work for me and getting on track. And I know I'm not going to be fluent by the end of 2019, but to have some at type of progress, like, by then, that's a personal goal of
mine. Personal goals of mine, I think I'm a pretty healthy person. I mean, like, I could eat some Oreos, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's definitely.
I could do it.
I might could eat a whole packet. And then, but the thing is, I can't, my body can't take sugar like that. So I'll start shaking. My sorors made fun of me because when we were going to DC last year, I was like, I'm on a road trip with my sorors, so ain't no vegan stuff in sight, right? So I'm like, I found me some Oreos. I like definitely eat this whole thing, right? So it wasn't like the thing with the 3 rolls and then like we ain't out here. It wasn't like a family size. It was like them sleeves, right? So I'm gonna eat this whole thing, and they're like, don't eat all them Oreos. Literally started shaking. I had to go lay down. Like, but I just want to get back into my workout routine. The gym was like here and there, and like
it's
people.
Swole.
Okay. And people, I'm very like, one, because summer 2019, we about to be out here. So, that's definitely a personal goal. And also, I'm such a lame. Like, the more I work on my arms, the bigger my sound gonna be. So, I'm such a loser. Like, I remember I went to my first boxing class.
The
and
sound getting bigger?
Shut up.
For those of y'all that don't know Katie sound?
All right. I went to my first boxing class, and I was like, so I'm here so my sound could get bigger. So she was like, what? And then also another personal goal of mine, which is like a little bit smaller. I just want to be a better friend. I want to be a better daughter, a better niece, a better cousin. Like when I'm in the thick of things, you will not hear from me. You will call me, I won't answer. And then they'll be like, well, you talk to Dalanie every day. I'm like, I see Dalanie every day. I see Vina. I see Jasmine every day. But it's like my mom will call me. My mom will talk to me for like a week and a half. But she'll be calling me. I'm like, I can't answer right now. I got this thing to do at 11:59. I can't answer right now because I got to learn this thing. I can't answer right now because I got a lesson tomorrow. And it's like, I just want to do better. It's like, I can be busy and be engaged. And I just want to figure out how to balance that. Last question. Okay, any musical goals?
Several.
All right.
I must play in tune.
Girl, I'm about to give up on that.
I listened to. I told Katie this earlier. I listened to my recital that I should not have given.
I have no response for that. You literally annoy me down to my soul, to the depths of my shondo.
You can feel that way if you want to, but I didn't even listen to the whole recording. The first piece went to oh my gosh, to the shitter, so quickly that I was just like, I'm literally not even going to listen to it because I know I've played it better than that. There's no point in me listening to it.
Yeah,
I
feel
it
that
better than that in studio class, literally days before. Why would
I feel that.
Put myself in that situation? So I wasn't gonna listen to that. I listened to a part of my chamber group, and I will listen to that because I know, you know, it wasn't our best, but we did well. Good players, you know. When I tell you, I was literally watching it. There was some part, and I was like, it was like a car crash. I was like,
you suck.
I was like,
you suck.
I like, oh my god, my tear ducts all quivering right now. Like what? I was looking at it, and I was just like, I have to play better just in general, or this is just not for me. Like,
better this than your senior recitals, sis? Can you imagine?
I mean, yeah, but like, I was just like, I can't, like, it was a failure. Like,
but you have to remember that music is not a forward moving process. You're gonna take L's, you're gonna regress, you're gonna go forward. But
those two,
but every time you take a step back, it's like 40 steps forward. It's always like you catch an L, you work through it, and you keep going forward. Like, that's what music is.
Remember, I told you that even if it does, at the very least, that recital, at the very least, I'll learn my lesson to prepare better for stuff like that, because I was not as prepared as I wanted to be for that. So that's one of the whole reasons why I put on that recital, is because that's one of the goals I had, was to make myself, you know, better at preparing music by a certain date.
Yeah.
And one of my main goals is I have to play in tune. Literally, your teacher told me that. Well, him and everyone else, but literally was like, she has to play in tune to my teacher, and and I have to learn how to vibrate. And that's not even 2019. That's when I get home. Like, that's literally when I get home for break. Like, those are two things that there's such big parts of it, especially a string player.
Yeah.
Like, there are places on the bass where I just cannot vibrate. What is that?
Girl, I'm telling you. I just gave a presentation on vibrato. It's disheartening not to know how to vibrate, because vibrato's like your voice.
Well, you blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, you know how many years it took? It's like you over here like, I can't vibrate. At least I've seen you play. It's like at least you have a wiggle here and there. I had nothing. So I'm up here looking dumb. A junior in college, I don't even have a consistent wiggle. And then something, I worked on vibrato for 4 years, and somewhere before my senior recital, I got a wiggle, and I was like, well, glory be. And then it's just, now vibrato is one of like my biggest strengths. I still have to work on connecting my notes, stuff like that, but like, they'd be like, sis, the vibrato, like, they'd be like, can you vary? I'm like, what you want? You want wide and narrow? You want wide and narrow? You want wide and fast? You want narrow and fast? You want narrow and slow? What you want? I can do it, you know, but it takes time. Vibrato is like, it takes time, and you got it. I believe in you.
I miss one of us.
Wow. Musical goals for me. I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to make sure I have somewhere to go after Eastman. So whatever that entails, I want that. I also have this desire to be consistent. Like, Mr. Taylor always tells me, like, your sound and your expression draws them in, but you have to keep them there. You know, like, I took an audition, played the opening mic concerto. They were like, I bet. What's next? I played like Hoffner, and they're like, hey, what's next? And I played, then we got to Mendelssohn. So my literally, this audition was going so well. And I got to Mendelssohn. I played the typical one, like beginning to D. And they're like, all right. And I played the second one. And they're like, play it again. So like, you don't know what they're looking for, but in my mind, it's one of two things. They want to see if you can fix something, or they try to give you one more shot before they literally stop listening after that. So it's like, just being a more consistent player and keeping people drawn in and keeping people listening to me is definitely a musical goal, but I'm believing I'm gonna get there. I don't know how, Sweet Pea, but we gonna get there. And this wraps up our topic. I encourage you to take a listen to take a listen. What I encourage you to reflect on these questions. Well, even if you're not a reflective person, you don't have to answer all of them, but I think it's good just to be aware of like how you're doing and like checking in with yourself so you can move forward. Yeah, we're moving on.
Black excellence.
Okay, so this week's Black excellence goes to Jonathan Rush, conductor extraordinaire. Have you seen a video of him conducting?
Yeah, briefly. Yeah.
When I tell you, my man, this is the truth, like the absolute truth. I was like, I just didn't know this is what we was doing. Like it's like he's absolutely incredible. And he's so nice and he's so humble. He's a conductor from Hartford, Connecticut. Got his undergraduate studies, at the Ohio State. That "the" throws me off every time. Is the Ohio State University Music Education. Come on, educator. Now he's doing his conducting studies at Peabody. He recently won the Respighi Prize in conducting.
Oh, that sounds fancy.
Oh, it's dummy fancy.
Sound upper echelon to me.
When he was at Ohio State, he was the music director of the Buckeye Philharmonic Orchestra. So it's student run ensemble, but still the fact that you're the music director of that. Right. And also you got to get people to come to that. You got to get, like, it's an extra thing, you know, right. Outside. You have to get people to be involved in that, to commit to that, concerts and stuff. So, and also the fact that his teachers put him in charge of like an orchestra like that, like the non-majors orchestra, is like absolutely incredible. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's also a conducting fellow with the Chicago Sinfonietta Orchestra. So he flies back and forth to conduct the orchestra master classes.
That's insane.
Like, it's just insane. Let me keep on my mouth getting dry, all these accolades.
Can you get some water, sis?
I mean, like, what? I was reading this bio, my mouth on the floor. I was like, Katie girl, step it up.
What we mean when we said Black people are not going anywhere.
Like, literally, why would you know how much you accomplish all this and he's like mid 20s? Are you joking? Black people are not going anywhere. Like literally,
what an asset to the music world.
Exactly.
Like, imagine if he never picked up a baton. What?
It's like, what do we do to deserve him? not a thing, and we will never. He sang in the Ohio State University Symphonic Choir, the Glee Club. He was section leader in the Glee Club. And he made his debut solo at Alice Tully Hall with the Glee Club.
Wow.
Oh, don't stop there. He made his conducting debut at Carnegie Hall with the Chamber Orchestra of New York.
Well, I mean, if all of you other conductors want to just go ahead and throw in the...
I mean, if y'all really want to just call up Muti and be like, your job on the line, I would just bow out gracefully.
We got some boxes. We could just collect all the batons. We could recycle them, and make them into, whatever y'all want. But you don't need them.
We don't. It's Jonathan it's over for you here.
I mean, Dudamel, you've had a nice run, but
it was real cute, sir.
Right.
Well, you know what? It won't be over for every conductor, because I'm sure Jonathan can just tell us which orchestra he would like.
Oh, right.
And then that conductor is gonna have to leave, and they ain't really no 2 weeks. It's just gonna be like
effective immediately. Sorry.
Like, so you just going to be like, Jonathan just be like, I think I'll take.
What am I feeling tonight?
What am I fancy?
Right. Or we could just get him on that private plane with Adam.
Right.
Going to all the major orchestras.
All right. So I guess all of them will have to take a seat. I mean, but y'all been doing. You've dominated for too long. So It's time to sit down. Jonathan's here. You making conducting debuts at Carnegie Hall? This ain't normal. Like,
as
what?
long as LA Phil, CSO, and New York Phil get their schedule together, so that they can have their concerts staggered, and he can get to each one. Then
because if he starts on the East Coast and work his way back, he should be able to. Right. And as long as he ain't doing no like Bruckner symphonies, he should be able to make it from New York to Chicago to LA. Right. Yeah, because LA 3 hours behind. Mm-hmm. So if we did like a matinee in New York and then like a 6 o'clock in Chicago, he can make it for 7 o'clock in LA.
Right. Okay. We'll put this together for you.
Don't worry, Jonathan. We got you. In addition to all he's done with conducting, he also is very involved with gospel, jazz, R&B performed in various jazz ensembles. He's also the minister of music at Ebenezer Temple in Hartford. Come on, Bishop. And he serves as a liaison between all of the music departments for the United Holy Church of America, like in that area. So I mean, I guess he just
don't schedule look like
something like yours times 3,000. So go ahead and check Jonathan out. We'll link his website for you in the description. We'll also leave his Twitter and his Instagram handles. Check him out. He's absolutely the truth. Like, this is exactly what classical music needs. Like, just a humble, he's absolutely just phenomenal. Hold on, I almost forgot. He just conducted
Nairobi Philharmonic. The
Nutcracker, the entire thing. They flying you out to do ballets
to the motherland.
Nah, y'all
truth.
Y'all check him out and get right before you get left, honey, because Jonathan is here. Check out Jonathan Rush, the epitome of Black excellence. Right. One thing to know about Jonathan, he was recommended to us, so be sure you're sending in your recommendations for Black excellence. So yeah, that's the show. We've been in here forever, but I
got a piece.
We said what?
So I got a piece this week.
All right, let us know what's your piece.
Right, it's gonna be short because it's a classic and that we all know and love. I don't know what made me search it up, but the Barber Seville Overture.
I'm gonna search it up. You're so Black.
Right. Search it up. Don't understand what the issue is. But the Barber Seville Overture continues to be a classic, continues to be a bop. If you haven't heard it in a while, then just remind yourself why,
like Rossini was writing.
Right. He I'm here for it. Just, I know that sometimes the classics fall to the wayside.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't heard it in a minute. Just reminding you that it's still here.
It's still here. It's not going anywhere.
Right. And it's still a bop. So, just
anybody forgetting about Rossini, he was literally a superstar.
I mean, yeah,
like,
but I ain't heard it in a minute, so I was like, oh yeah. Barber Seville. Let me bra bra bra.
Right.
Hey. Okay.
Let's not sing. You heard us sing enough.
Right.
Don't forget to follow us on social media at Classically Black Podcast. Don't forget to follow us on all platforms. Apple Podcasts, we here. SoundCloud, Spotify, all that. We on everywhere. We ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Happy New Year. We wish you the best in 2019, and we will see y'all next year.
Bye y'all.
Bye y'all.